Hi, welcome to Jack Dodson's Racing Insider News this week. Pretty excited. We got Miss April here. And Jack, well, we got to thank our marketing partners.
Yeah, let's do that.
Virginia 811. These guys they got a sponsored race coming up here in a few months. It'll be pretty exciting. Jack will be excited. He'll get some free food.
Oh.
You ain't gonna be here?
I'll be here.
Okay.
GAC, Great American Company. Black Acid Apparel. If you need a shirt or one shirt or 15 shirts or 300 shirts, they'll make them up for you. Bondurant Brothers Distillery. Jack didn't bring any for us today to sample out. Factory Canopies. They make these nice chairs. They got.
These are nice.
Yeah, I think we don't let Jack sit on them yet.
No, when we need three, I go for the other one.
MPM Marketing. So you need some help with your social media accounts and how to present yourself on social media. Miss Calic, I can't even say. Tanya, she'll help you out. And if you need a race suit, she'll help you out there too. Because I got one just ordered yesterday or the other day. NC811. Call before you dig, Jack. Safety Clean, Performance Plus Motor Oil. Last but not least, Langley Speedway. And that's it, Jack.
All right, let's talk a little bit about what all took place this weekend as far as.
I heard there was a big boxing match or something.
Well, everybody
WWE was at Tri-County.
Everybody went to Tri-County to see a fight and a race broke out. But yeah, that was pretty interesting how that all took place down there. In the Xfinity Series this past weekend, Austin Cindric got the win.
I didn't expect him to. I thought it was going to be. I was pulling for Josh Berry.
I was too.
Hard. He looked like he had a good long run car, and then at the end, Austin Cindric come out, and I'm like, dang.
In the Cup Series, Alex Bowman got the win. He come out of nowhere. He came out of nowhere to get the win. In the ARCA East Series, Ty Gibbs. Imagine Ty Gibbs winning a race. It's kind of hard to believe. Saturday night here at Langley Speedway, in the super trucks, Louis Pezderix, whatever you say his name. In a few minutes, Mason will probably tell me I said it wrong. But anyway, he got the win in the truck series. And it was really cool this past weekend to see there was some exciting racing this weekend. With the military involved in it. But Louis and Rick Powell got interviewed by NASCAR.com.
That was way cool.
That was really good to see that happen. In the modifieds, Matt Carter got the win.
That's a surprise.
Super Streets, Jimmy Atkins got the win, and that was a wild race. It was. I'm not going to say anything about Tommy Gilday, but anyway, wow.
I tell you what, though, Tommy is entertaining.
Yeah, but I'm sitting here, I'm looking at him, and he took off around the track, and he runs.
Ray Charles could see him.
Yeah, but Ray just runs slam into the back of that car, and I'm thinking, if you were going to try to do something to him,
I'm going to have to show him how to.
That's not the way you do it.
Show him the tape of me and Scott Perlman. I'm going to have to show him how to.
No, that doesn't work. No, you went backwards on the track. That don't work. That don't work at all.
But I accomplished the job.
In the Enduros, Cody Bryant got the win in the Enduros race number. That's his second straight win.
Yes.
We're going to talk to Cody here.
Yep, Cody's going to be on in a few minutes.
And what a nice young man to see. He is the politest kid here.
Yeah, well, he was real polite to me on when I was trying to talk to him and get him to come on the show. He said, I got a ball game.
Well, I asked him if he was coming in, and he said he couldn't because he had the ball game. Yeah.
All right, up at Dominion Speedway this past weekend in the Legends cars, Tommy Jackson Jr. got the first win.
That's a shocker.
And Connor Jones got the win in the second race.
Oh, really?
Now, in the Virginia races, Ryan Matthews was flagged the winner in both races. After Tech investigating the situation a little more, he ends up fourth. And Cameron Burke got the win in both races. So that was
the room of doom.
Yeah, You have the wrong
They-
shocks and springs on you.
Is
You
that
have a
what it
little
said?
bit of problem. Yeah.
Mm.
In the bandos, Kenton Case got the win.
I'm sure it wasn't intentional.
No one. In the bandos, Kenton Case got the win, and Riley Music and Trey Williams
sure.
got into a little tussle in the race, and both of them ended up not finishing the race.
Oh, really?
Kid and Case got the win. In the modifieds, Mike Rudy got race number 1. Eric Folks got race number 2. Over at Kingsport Speedway this past weekend, in the late models, Nick Williams got win number 3. He's lodging himself in there to be the new king of Kingsport now.
King of Concrete.
Yep. At Dixieland, Darren Bolak got the sprint car win, and Brent Robinson got the All-Stars win over there. At Sobo this past weekend, late model race number 1 was won by Mike Looney. Late model race number 2 was won by Timothy Peters. At Carteret, Jared Fryer got the win down there in that series they're running. I think it's like a 5-race series for $15,000, $20,000 they're running down there.
I hadn't heard about that.
Zach Lightfoot finished 2nd. The fights at Tri-County, I don't know who won the fight, but Chandler Smith won the race.
The tire iron.
Yeah.
Won the fight down there.
Up at Chemung, New York, our buddy Garrett Zacharias was red hot in the first heat race and won that going away. And his daddy won the 2nd race. But then when it got time to run the feature race, Garrett blew a motor. He pulled a Scott Allen, blew a motor, and he was done. And I don't think RJ even come close after that either. Down in Halifax, on the dirt track at the Halifax County Speedway, Cody Wright got the win. And we're going to have Tim O'Quinn coming on here in just a couple of minutes, talk at Lonesome Pine. I know they don't run late models or anything down there, but Kevin Canner, I don't think has lost a Mod 4 race between 3 racetracks this year.
If you go into last year, I think it was all the last year too.
Well, I think he didn't win 1 race last year. But this year, he's won all the races at Lonesome Pine, all the races at Motor Mile, and all the races at Kingsport as far as the Mod 4. So he's done a heck of a job down there. I want to congratulate Justin Ellis. He's our new race director here at Langley Speedway. Had a chance to talk with him a little bit on Saturday, and it was I think it's a well-deserved pick there they made with bringing Justin Ellis.
Yeah, he was well known. Everybody knows him at the racetrack.
Now, I got an interesting situation here before we turn this over. Driver of the week.
Mm-hmm.
Now, by the votes, Ryan Matthews beat Cody Bryant by one vote. Okay?
I thought we wasn't doing it anymore.
What?
The fan.
Well, I'm talking about in this series right here.
Okay.
I'm talking about that's what happened.
Okay.
But do we count Ryan Matthews now that he was disqualified?
That's a good point. That's a good point.
So
that's a good point.
So with the disqualification,
I would say no.
So with the disqualification and conversation I had the other day, we're going to go with Cody Bryant being back-to-back driver of the week.
Sounds fair to me.
So I think that's.
I don't think my mafia will disagree with you, Jeff.
No, your mafia is the one that got him the votes he got. I hadn't even left the track Saturday night when they already started voting, and I hadn't even put anything up there yet. Jeez, I ain't never seen nothing like it. I ain't calling no names. Rodney Davis. He's the one that started it.
He's good at that. What's up, Eddie Clark?
So anyway, we'll give it to Cody Bryant for a driver of the week for back-to-back weeks. I think is he the first one to get back-to-back?
Probably.
Yeah,
I would say so.
And of course we had to have one vote I had to kick out also.
Who was that?
Chris Bechtel's vote. I had to kick his vote out.
That was a good vote.
He voted for you, and you weren't even in the racetrack. And you're not even eligible to start with.
I don't think that'll ever stop.
So anyway, so that's the weekend of racing for this past weekend. Also want to we got Tim O'Quinn who's going to be with us from Lonesome Pine in a few minutes. Miss April's going to be here with us, and then we got a real interesting coming up later in the show. Roy Martin's going to come on, and I can't wait to talk to him again. The story about Roy Martin, he is an official at Bowman Gray.
Okay.
But we did not know that we were born in the same town.
Oh my goodness.
And his dad, Roy's dad, worked for my grandfather as the chief of police in Welch, West Virginia. He was a police officer under him.
Wow.
So we didn't even realize any of this was until we got to talking one day. So we're going to talk about that some tonight too.
Small world.
So
It
that's
is
really
a small
cool.
world.
This show is like the Beauty and the Beast. And the
Facts.
I think you ought to be nice to these other people. Eddie Clark. Anyway. All right. So when did you get started here, Lang? We were discussing
At
this
the very
earlier.
beginning, or
Yeah. When did you first come out here?
I mean, it could have been that long. You're only 29.
yeah, that's right. Let's see. In the late 70s, I was a fan sitting in the stands like everybody else. And then this is a little bit of a stretch of the story I wasn't going to mention, but I was in the ladies' room with the young lady who had been Miss Langley during the Carver time. And she asked me a couple questions. We were just standing washing our hands. And she said, they're looking for somebody to trophy, presentation. And I went, oh, I can't do that. And she said, why? She goes, you seem pretty nice. And I went, well, nice, but. So anyhow, she took my name and number and she gave it to Joe's Carver's secretary. And she called me and asked me if I'd come out and give the trophy for the Daily Press Christmas fundraise that year. And so I came and met Joe and everybody. And I'm, thinking girl next door, maybe no beauty queen by any means. And I'm thinking, okay, well, I did it and I had fun and they had fun. Everybody seemed to have a good time. So he said, come back. We're going to do, another special event. And I did. And then Daryl Waltrip was here and they were talking about doing a beauty pageant for the Miss Langley Speedway Trophy Girl. And I went, okay, well, thank you for letting me, do what I did. And they go, well, what do you mean you're going to get in the pageant? And I went, oh, no, I don't do those things. So anyways, long story short, I won and I was very surprised. I had some beautiful girls to compete against and some with real talent. I don't have talent. I don't sing, dance, anything that's like amazing.
Well, you be around here all these years. You got some talent.
Well, no, I married a musician, so now he sings to me, and he's wonderful, and he does it very well. So, so I did that for 3 years. I believe it was 82, 83, 84, 85. Okay, and then I stopped and went through some personal problems with. I lost my grandmother and stuff, and so. Anyhow, I came back in 89 when Joe Baldassi came out to do his turn at promoting to ask him if he needs some help. Like maybe I could help him set up another Miss Langley thing. I didn't want to do it, but I wanted to do something, to train them, let them know what their responsibilities were. Well, anyways, he goes, I don't want to do that. You just do it and just get over it. So I was back. That was 89, 90.
I mean, you already know how to do it.
Yeah, I was already trained. So 90, I met someone and I moved away to California and got married. And I have a son that's 29. And so we did that. He was a hockey player, baseball player, and did all this other stuff. So he took a lot of our attention. And my husband got sick and he passed away in 08. And in the middle of a couple of years there, he said, what do you want to do for yourself? And I said, well, I'll go back to school or something. He said, no, go back to Langley. And I went, oh, brother, here we go again. They're not going to know who I am. They don't care. So I called my friend Ron Kitchen. He said, come on out. So I came out and did a couple of things. And then they're wanting to know why I'm still here, which Chuck Hall.
Yeah.
It won't let you go.
Well, I don't know that he won't let me go. I think we're like, we work well together. And Terry Beluso, I love her to death. Love her. Just lots of good memories. Reverend Potter, he has been with me since the beginning of losing my husband and getting married again. And every week, we're together. I say we're partners. So with all that, I started booking bands in the early, I think it was 2009 is when I started booking bands.
Wow.
And then it led to bands here.
Well, we're going to get back to that in just a minute and get back into your bands and talking about that. But let's go ahead and get Tim on here. I know he's got some things.
I don't see him. Tim?
Tim?
Did I lose him?
Can you hear me?
We can hear you, but we can't see you.
Okay, let me see. Oh, how about that?
Oh, there you go.
I was going to say, you're like, you have a face for radio?
Oh, well, I don't know about that, but you know how us racers are. It don't matter if you want to talk, we'll talk.
Well, I watch your thing you do on Friday afternoons, and I really keep up with everything down there that you got going on. That's a pretty good show you got there yourself.
Well, we're utilizing the Facebook, free advertising and free promoting, and why not use it?
That's exactly right. That's what Scott and I do. We anything is free. We like that idea.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Y'all do excellent. I watch your show a lot. You guys do a real good job, and I like just to be able just to have a little bit of what you guys have. So y'all do real good.
Well, maybe someday we can come out there and be with you sometime, and we can and be on your show.
Anytime you want to call in, anytime you want to come out, you come on out. You're more than welcome. We just had a race Saturday night. Man, it was crowded. Had a lot of car count. I know a lot of tracks around having car counts are real low. We had 61 cars at Lonesome Pine Raceway. If anybody's never been to Lonesome Pine Raceway, it's in a little town called Copen, Virginia, and it's been there since 1972. There's been a lot of people come out of there, and a lot of people went to the big time. Danny O'Quinn Jr. He races there a lot, and he still does. He's got his late model. Well, we call it lemon late models now, and he comes down every now and then and race. Eric McClure, God rest his soul, he come out of there. That's where he started in the street stocks. And he moved up to the ranks, and then we're really missing Eric. Eric was trying to get back into it, and really miss him.
Well, the Lonesome Pine Speedway is like a diamond in the rough out there in the middle of nowhere. I had never been there until the Hooters Pro Cup Series went out there a few years ago. Went out there with the Hooters Cup Series. I love that place. I mean, it's a neat place out there, and it's just right there. It's perfect.
It is. It's an old coal town, and it was very excited when they hear that we was opening back up last year. We put dirt on it. Well, we didn't. Bobby and Bernice Hill owns it now, and they put dirt on it, and they ran it for about half a year, and 7 weeks in a row it rained them out. They contacted me, and I was blessed enough to be able to come in and help them and take the dirt off and put re-asphalt it. We did repave the track, and people love it. I call it a hero track because it's so much grip. You don't have to worry about driving. I believe I could drive a race car and win there now.
Dang, Dak, you got a shot.
Well, and Scott may even have a shot if he can keep the car running. He could get out there and be pretty good.
Yeah, it's good, man. I'm telling you, God's good. I base that around God, because if we don't have God, we ain't got nobody. So it's a God atmosphere. We've got a lot of people involved in it. We're very blessed with my all-star team, as I call them. That's my officials and stuff, man, which is excellent.
It was really, that place out there was just one of those things that, I enjoyed. The racing was good. Even though it was the Hooters Cup Series, but they had some local racing there going on at the same time. But if the racing is good, the track is good for racing. It's a huge facility for racing.
Yes, we've got VIP suites. 2 floors of VIP suites. It's air conditioned. It's heated. I think each floor seats about 32 people, so we can cater to them. Very nice facility. We hold like 6,500. We can house 6,500 in the stands. So it's very, very nice. We got a nice tower. It's separated. The bottom floor is just nothing but for my announcing and all that. And the top floor, we do the race directing and score and everything there. So it's very nice. Very blessed.
So how many classes do you have there, and what kind of classes are you running?
We have 5 classes, lemon late models. We have Mod Street. Mod Street is your old street stock class.
Okay.
Or your Challenger class.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have Pure Street. It's your old Novas, old Camaros that just not good enough to be in your street stock class. So we call them Pure Street, and it's about what it says, Pure Street. Then we have Mod 4, your mini stocks. You guys know that. Then we have Pure 4 class.
Now, your Mod 4 class, you might as well go and turn it into Kevin Canner class, the class.
Kevin Canner, he's won 4 in a row.
I know.
And and hands down to him. He's a good driver. He's got a really good car. He shows.
Yeah, he's won with you guys at Lonesome Pine. I think he's won over at Motor Mile.
He hasn't won this year at Motor Mile. He won last year.
He hadn't won this year at Motor Mile, but I know he's a Kingsport.
Oh, he wires them out at Kingsport. He's winning so far at Lonesome Pine Raceway. Like I said, he's got a very good car, and also Kevin can drive. I would love to see him in a lemon late model because he's got a good driving ability. I'd love to see what he can do because he's a good driver.
At one time, he was talking about trying to move up, but I evidently never worked out for him.
It hasn't worked out, but he will. He will. Kevin's he'll do good. He'll do good. He'll get him a ride somewhere. Yes.
Tim, do y'all have any special events coming up during the year that you would like to talk about and promote?
Yes, sir. This weekend we got the Southeast Super Trucks coming in. Jeff Myers, he's coming in this weekend. So it's going to be exciting. He always brings a good series up and races at Lonesome Pine. And also at the end of the year, October the 23rd, we're going to have a big limited late model race. We're looking probably about 100 lappers for about anywhere from $1,500 to $2,000 a win. Trying to work on some other stuff there. We do have a July the 4th. We do have a monster truck show, Renegade Monster Truck Tour. It's going to be huge. I mean, they contacted me and they said, we want to jump high as your flag stand. I said, if you jump that high, I don't know if you want to be here or not. But they've been with the Monster Jams, and there are about 8 trucks coming. And if you need tickets, you can go on their website and buy tickets, VirginiaMonsterTrucks.com. You can buy tickets straight from them. They just rented the track, leased the track out. A lot of things going on. I think we at Lonesome Pine have the best tire deal. I put all my cars, my lemon late models, and my Mod Street on scuff tires. What we do is we give them 5 tires, and our lemon late model draws a peel, or we roll it like a bingo roller, and whatever number you get, that's what you get for $150.
Right.
Our Mod Street is the same way. We roll a peel, whatever number rolls up, that's the number you get for $100 for 5 tires. So that gives you an extra tire in case you have a flat. And then we scan them in, and if you don't want to buy tires, the next race you keep them at the track. You don't have to buy tires. And our racing fuel is BP fuel, and I think we're the cheapest around, $8.50 a gallon. So I'm a racer. I've been a racer for 27 years. I'm trying to give it back to the racers. I want to make it where they can afford it.
How well do you work with the other tracks in your area now? Kingsport was the only one that was open for a little while, but then now you're back and Motor Mile's back this year. Do you all have a thing where you kind of work together on some things, or is it just do what you can do?
I've tried to work with Kingsport Speedway, but Karen Tennell wouldn't work with us. I don't know why. I don't know why, but she won't. But I've worked with Motor Mile, with Mark up there, and I work with Langley at Franklin County, and we are looking at a Triple Crown limited late model race. We are throwing that around. So that's going to be something. I did not race. I made sure my schedule did not go over Motor Mile's schedule because I didn't want to take cars from Motor Mile, because I've had 5 or 6 cars come from Motor Mile down where we are, and same way with Franklin County. We don't want to race on the same. I don't want to race over top of them because we want to help each other. And I would love to donate with Kingsport, but I don't know why they won't. But I'm trying to. I still would like to work with them. Yeah. More if you work together and help each other, it'd be better off. Yeah.
Well, that's the way it is. That we got to get people back to these short tracks and getting involved in it. And you're going to have to work together. You can't just do it all by yourself. And, you're going to have some guys going back and forth to other tracks to race.
Yes. And when I don't race, I go out to other tracks and support other tracks and talk to other people. And like Motor Mile, I'll go up Motor Mile and help them guys out. If they need something, I'll help them. And I'll promote Motor Mile and Franklin County Speedway just like Lonesome Pine. I'll help them all out.
Well, you got a great facility out there, Tim, and I really enjoy listening to your show when you come on and find out about what all is going on out there. And hopefully I can get out there sometime. I say that a lot, and I don't never get to go anywhere hardly anymore. But
because ain't nobody wants you.
Yeah, we want you.
You say that, you're gonna regret it.
No, come on down. I'll let you come on down, and I'll make sure you get fed good. And it won't cost you
Lord,
to get in.
Tomorrow.
We got good food, man. The owner of the track, she does good. She homemade cooks everything, so we got good concession.
I'm gonna tell you that was a fantastic facility when I went there, and I think you've done a heck of a job bringing it back and getting it going again. And I think that's a good thing to happen out there.
Well, I do too, and like I said, I didn't do it by myself. I had a lot of all-star people underneath me, and I picked and chose the right people, and it all fell in place. And like I said, one man show don't do it. It takes everybody there that does it. So every Saturday night when they show up, cars show up, they're all my officials and all my people. It all works out.
Well, I can't wait. I'm gonna try to get out there sometime. I don't know how soon it'll be, but I would love to get out there pretty soon and see what you got going on.
Just let me know when you come. I'll make sure you eat good and get in free.
All right, man. We'll talk to you then, okay?
Thank y'all.
Thank you. Appreciate your time, man. Appreciate your time.
Man, he said the two famous things right there: food and free.
Hey, look, that's two offers that I got now.
Get your calendar.
Kingsport, the Chase Dixon at Kingsport.
Oh yeah.
It's told us that
Texas Roadhouse.
Texas Roadhouse. Come on down. We're going to Texas Roadhouse. So that's pretty cool. All right, we'll get back to you, Dan. You said you've been around here for a long time, and now you're booking bands.
Well, we started. I started booking bands out in the public, different venues and weddings, funerals, whatever, festivals. I had a whole slew. I accumulated bands over a period of like 5 years, I guess, and then other bands heard that I was booking in local clubs and whatever, and I would, try to get them in there. And I negotiate the fees with the owners and with the bands, and we came to an agreement, and we get them in. So Chuck
Do you rest at all? So she's as bad as I am.
Yeah, I do. And I mean, I have a great support system. My husband, my family, Chuck Hall, Reverend Potter. But I came out here when Chuck was doing the 1490, the Outlaw, and he gave me a little show called Tune In and Turn It Up with April Allen. Chuck Hall. I had to put the Chuck Hall in there. So we did that for about a year during the off season that we weren't racing. And when he sold the station, I thought, oh God, I'm all bummed out now, because what am I going to do with my bands? I'm going to keep booking them out.
Right.
But I would go out when the bands were playing, and I would, draw birthdays or weddings or whatever, and I'd give race tickets away to some lucky people. So it became a real thing, and we all enjoyed it. So, well, they sold the station, and I didn't know what I was going to do to help my bands, get noticed or whatever. And then one day I came out here, and they're building a stage. So you know what Chuck Hall was doing. He was giving me a place to bring my bands. So, and they're all volunteer. All these bands are volunteer.
Well, I didn't know that.
Every one of them.
Well, that's cool.
That's a good booking agent.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at the time I was booking in clubs too. So, and then COVID kind of crashed everything.
Oh, sure.
So we haven't really been doing that. But they're still coming. I am totally, I've got maybe a date or two still open on my calendar, but.
Now, do people ask to do it now?
Yes, they do. And this is my list for the rest of the season. So you can see that some of them got 2 nights, and they're on here for the whole season. So
does it have to be a full band or
no? We're doing acoustic acts and solo. I got a guy coming in here, Jacob Jones. He's an acoustic act, and I hear he's real popular. I have not met him in person, but he came recommended by the late Model 03 car. Butterbean's family recommended him, and he and I talked on the phone, and I got him 2 nights. And there's Mason Brown and Scheitle, they're coming out twice. So we got Running with Scissors and a bunch of other guys that just are awesome. Tumbleweed, his band's playing this Saturday. Usually if I'm not going to be here, I'll put somebody out there that knows what they're doing so they can get to the front stretch for opening ceremonies, so that they can say where they're at and what they're doing. All the bands are struggling right now. They're trying to get out there. A lot of the club owners are not putting them in there because they have no revenue.
Yeah.
And they have a limit on what they can bring in until all this is lifted. Everybody's kind of just hanging out.
It looks like the 28th, all that stuff is going to be lifted.
I hope so. Goodness gracious. I think we're all starving to get back out in the real world. Who knows what the real world is, but we want to get involved with other people and enjoy the music. But I know my husband's band has a lot of campground bookings. So that went somewhere. But the whole thing is, I mean, we don't know what these bar owners or club owners or like the Moose Lodges, or we don't know what they're going to be able to do. We're hoping that things start rolling really smooth and we're back to the old, worrying about the schedule. How are we going to do everything?
Right.
It's like you just do.
So how far out do you reach with your band, with setting up bands? I mean, do you go as far as?
I stay local.
Or you stay right here local?
I don't go any further than the Upper Newport News. I don't cross the bridge because the fact that a lot of the bands don't want to go over there.
Right, okay.
They're all booking on the south side. I mean, everything is like just booking everything. Mm-hmm. So here in this area, it's been a little tough.
Okay.
There's the Cowboy Club. They're doing good. They're booking.
So do you go out and visit these bands as you at around?
Yeah.
So you get to go out and hang out with them.
Yes, and if I book them, I usually show up where they're playing to make sure they're happy. The club owner's happy. Everything is what we said it is. They get the money they're supposed to. They're on their sets when they're supposed to be. I make sure that, and they're all very nice, good people that want to do right, and they do it. I mean, they do what is expected of them.
How big a hit is it here with the bands coming here to Langley? I mean, I see a crowd out there a lot when I'm coming through. I see a big crowd, but
I think it's still kind of new. I don't think that, I know we've been doing this for a while, but I don't think that race fans know that there is a band that starts at 5 o'clock. Yeah. So there's something to do if you come early. Save your seat, come down, sit and enjoy the band.
Have you a drink?
Yeah, it's like grab some food. There's tables back there, and the bands include the crowd. It's a race family. I mean, it's like once the bands come, they're so excited about it. It's like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. And sometimes we'll get a ride in the pace truck for them or something to give back to them.
That'd be cool, yeah.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I mean, I've sat down there and watched it a few times. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I don't sit down there all the time.
Try to help them or anything?
No. I don't sing.
Did you give them a tip?
A tip?
There's a tip jars.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that. I didn't see that.
There may not have been one, but we're trying to encourage that.
I seen one out there a couple of weeks ago. I thought. Now, April, you've done this for a while. And we had talked a little bit before it started. What's some of the cool things that being here or being part of is brung?
It's a family atmosphere. The the people that work here and the drivers, it's like everybody is connected. We're all one family, and everybody just loves on each other. You know, it's like, and pray for each other. It's like, it's just the most comfortable place to be. It's like when you walk into this racetrack, it's like the rest of the world is doing whatever they're doing, and we're doing this. Right. It's like, it's just comfortable, you know? And it's like when I give a trophy or a checker flag to the driver who has just won, I'm sitting there worried because that he may not have made it to that victory lane, and he tried and tried and tried, and he finally did. And I always hand him the flag. If it's me handing it, congratulations, you did a great job. And then zoom, he goes. Now I am.
Did you say you was working this weekend? Or?
No, I am off this weekend. We are.
See, I was hoping I was going to get to see you this weekend. No. You're going to hand me the flag.
We're going to do a little vacation, a family vacation. Yeah, when are you going to like slide into
That's what I'm talking about. This weekend, April.
I do have a driver that I always say, good luck to you. And every time he's won. And I'm not telling you who he is. But
well, before you
leave, Scott, we know that.
Well, before you leave. right.
Now, I'm going to tell you what, if Scott Allen wins the race this weekend, I want to give him the flag.
Okay.
I want you to let everybody know I'm going to give him the flag.
Yeah. Well, I have got some wonderful help down there this weekend, so I'm sure if you win, they'll be really good with you, giving you the checker flag. But you have to get the flag back. A lot of times the driver will want to keep the flag, and I have to go, no, you got to give it back to me because I don't own it. I can't give it away.
Right.
You know, so.
It's like when Beth Butterby won that award during the Cars Tour race a couple of years ago. When they came,
the check.
He did a great big check. He said, "Oh man, I finally got one of these great big checks." And they taking pictures and they come over and say, "Well, we got to have that back."
I know. I'm the one that has to do that sometimes, and it's like, I'm so sorry. And it's like, bless his heart. He's standing there and he wants all these pictures with the family, which I got that the crew with the girl, the dogs, everything, right? And I'm like, okay, we got to get you off the track because see, there's cars over there lined up, and if I don't move you, I'm going to get ran over too. So let's go. So, but I help the photographers. I make sure that the photographer has the pictures he needs for the Speedway. So we know there's this picture, and it's like the sponsor picture, then one by himself. I'm like real adamant about one by yourself, right there, stay there. So he's like, okay,
somebody's got to do it though.
So it's been a lot of fun. I think, it could end one day, and I'm not making any plans to like not do it, but there are things I want to do. So I might take some time off, but I have to talk to my husband.
I don't know what we would do without you, April.
I think you find something to do. I think it'll be okay.
Well, I was looking through your Facebook page and some pictures, and it looked like, was there something that Langley did up at Richmond, or was it Martinsville, and it was a long time ago and you did?
I have almost fallen off the car at Dover, doing the parade lab.
Yeah, maybe it was Dover.
I was to that, and I remember the first time I was in Daytona doing a parade lab, and I had fallen the day before I left for Daytona, and I think I tore my rotator cuff. That's what I think happened. But I had to get somebody to lift me up and put me on the car. And I was holding on right at the windshield, like this. And it was Joe Carver and Diana. Hi, Diana, I love you. And I was holding on, and I was in so much pain. And you had all those news people, ESPN, all those people with their cameras all around the car. And I'm like, I gotta smile, and I'm in pain. Oh my God. And then they said there was 113,000 people there.
That's interesting.
I was like, oh my God. So that was an experience.
Daytona is always an
Darrell Waltrip kissed me once.
Well, I was going to say, well, I guess I am going to say, like, how many drivers hit on you?
Well,
most of them?
No, not really. No. Most of them treated me with a lot of respect, and I treated them that way too. I made a deal with myself a long time ago that I would not date a driver. If I became single, not to date a driver, because why would I do that and ruin a good relationship? So I treat my family as my family, my friends as my friends, and my relationships are something that comes, it's a different experience. It's like when I met Taxi, now taxi's gonna be upset if I don't say this. He stole my heart with a kiss. And he walked off the stage and he just walked up and kissed me. And I had that rule too, not to date a musician. However,
a handbasket.
he was worth it. He's worth it. He's awesome.
We could tell as soon as you started dating that you was.
Well, Reverend Potter gave me the thumbs up. So
really?
I knew then it was okay. And he told me, he said, I'll never forget. He goes, I'm so proud of you. You didn't fall away from, what you planned on doing. He said, I wanted to get myself in a situation where I didn't need somebody. I wanted somebody in my life, and that had to be a certain somebody. And he measured up to all that certainty.
Now, were you booking his band? Is that how you guys
met? Oh, let me tell you how. Okay.
I was wanting to know this. So.
Okay. I had my best friend was also scouting bands for me because I was here on Saturday night, so it was hard for me to go out where the bands were. So she would say, yeah, she goes, you got to call these bands and you got to do this and you got to do that. And I said, oh God, sure, leave me alone. But so she said, no, Blackout, you got to meet the band Blackout. And I went, okay. So I went with her to the Moose, and they were playing. And I thought, yeah, they're clean cut looking guys. They're like got it together, and the music was awesome. And I thought, okay, all right, yeah. So I said, I met Mark, who was a vocalist, and I said, would you be willing to come out to Langley and do a volunteer concert for us, pre-race concert? And he said, yeah. So I had him come out, and I showed him the stage, and we walked around while Taxi was with him. And I thought, I wonder why I bought that kind of one. But I knew he was in the band. So, but I wasn't, it was a while before
was this guy tagging along?
Yeah. And I have to tell you, I'm a girl who likes hair. Like hair. Guys have hair, girls have hair.
Oh, you're in trouble.
No. Taxi shaves his head bald. And he's been that way since I met him. So I say some things just change.
So when it's meant to be, it's meant to be.
I'm telling you, and he has a beautiful mother, and his brother Gary's also awesome, and he plays in the band too.
Oh, really?
So yeah, and he plays music for me too. Like he just started playing. He hears things and he can play it. He's that talented.
Wow.
Drums, keyboard, guitar. So now he's had his 5 minutes of fame.
He's got it right here.
He does. But my son loved him, and I loved him too. And matter of fact, when he asked me to marry him, I said, you have to ask my son. And he went to Tyler, and he was, that was tough. Because Tyler's 29 years old. He's not a little kid. And it was like, yeah. And so once they got that settled, I said, well, will you walk me down the aisle? And he said, absolutely, Mom. So we did that in August. We didn't have a honeymoon yet because
COVID.
Sorry, things are opening up.
Yeah, but we plan to go to Florida. That's my favorite place in the world, and I was going to go there when I retired, and I met Taxi.
So retirement's up.
He said you can't. No, the retirement I can do. However, we're looking for a house, and also with the fact that he said we can't go to where we're going for our honeymoon and live there too. So. It was one of my favorite places. So,
all right, give us your number one moment, other than your husband. We don't want, we know that.
Enough about Taxi.
We know about that one. But give us your number one thing, or most memorable thing that you've seen out here at Langley, or been a part of here at Langley. Good, bad, ugly, whatever you want to say.
Well, there were some pretty bad wrecks that I saw that I just don't want to talk about.
Right.
But those really hit hard. If you notice, my wedding picture has Sean Blue's own flag.
Yeah, I saw that.
That was hard because Terry was standing with me when that happened. Then Tommy Ellis and Butch Langley hit the red gate and went over. And I hit the building by about that much. I was in the office upstairs when that happened.
Oh, really? Wow.
I was in the stands in Daytona when God, how can Bill Elliott went like that, end over end. And when the car stopped and he got out, I was like, so the accidents scare me. I'm scared for the drivers when they're going around, especially the late models. I don't know why that's hard on me. Watching, Greg and Danny and Mark and all these guys just going and going and going, I worry,
Sound like my wife now.
Well,
That was funny.
well,
Us guys are not worried a bit.
No, well, I know you're not, but my son was out here at 14 working. Actually, he was 16. He was working, and I said, "Do not get any wild ideas. Do not.
Don't even think about it.
Not race ever. Don't ever ask." He goes, "Oh, no more race." I said, "You're not racing."
So that worked, huh?
Something that was good. Let's see. I don't know. There's so many good things out here. It's like there's all the warm hugs you get on a Saturday night. You know, the people that love you, and you know they do, and you give it back to them. You know, the race fans who you cheer everybody on. It's like I'm so awed being a part of it. It's like it's surreal, but it's not. But and when the last race happens, and I'm carrying the checker flag and the board back to the office, I'm exhausted. But I'm more exhausted because it was such a adrenaline rush, and then you come down. And I have no desire to race ever, never. I rode in Charlie Doyle's car with him, going around the track in the buddy seat. That was it. That was it. I was in the pace car in Daytona in '83, and Mike Joy, Chris Katamaki, I think is his name.
Chris Katamaki.
They were in turn 4, and that's when they were having all the cars flipping up. And when they came out of turn 4, we were in a Caprice, like the big car. It was Joe Carver's car, I guess it was. And we were using that for the parade lap. It was Joe, Diana, me, and 2 officials and somebody else in the back seat. And Joe took that car up into the turn.
That gives you a whole other perspective.
Well, people just think I'm out here doing, like
You're not just a pretty face, right?
I live dangerously. I've enjoyed every minute of it. I can't say one thing that I wouldn't have wanted to do that I haven't done out here yet.
Yeah, I mean, and you got to know a lot of people. I mean, I remember when we first started talking, when we had Sid on, Sid Carmine, and you said, yeah, I talked Sid into coming on because he was real nervous about coming on, I mean, a lot of those guys back in the day, and Bubba Adams.
Yes, they were.
Those are all characters, too.
Yeah. Well, they messed with me a lot. They did, but it was never.
Who messed with you?
Well, Sid and Bubba and Elton, but all in fun. I would do car shows with them. Like they would go put their car in the Coliseum Mall, and I would go there, and we'd bring the little girl that was little Miss Langley, and we had a whole bunch of fun. But never ever did we have like anything that we could walk away from being like we did something that wasn't like out there where everybody could see it. It was always just very normal, like friends being friends. So.
And the heritage this racetrack has. Everything goes on, and the people that have come from here and gone on to bigger and better things is really a thing that this racetrack builds itself on. Is being able to do those things and having those people do that. And you got to see these people most of the way along the way. Yeah,
I remember like Sammy Ard.
Oh yeah.
Gentle giant he was like just so polite, and because the whole way we did things back then was the girls got to shake their hands or get a little pick on the cheek or whatever, and then they go on and get in their cars. It was always so respectful. Like now I don't know what you could do now. It's like, don't touch him. What would you do?
It's a different world today.
But there was something I was going to tell you, and I forgot what it was. See?
Yeah, I mean, we had the Cup Series used to come here, and the Grand National Series or the Sportsman Series for a while up until 88, 80, somewhere. Right
Something like that, because I came out here when Sam Ard and all them were racing out here then.
Jack
Remember? Dale Jarrett was here. That was cool. I got
Tommy
to go.
Ellis, old Tommy, terrible Tommy.
I got to meet, oh God, he used to say, it's squirrely. Everything was squirrely. You guys know who I'm thinking of.
I'm drawing a blank.
I'm a kite more tell you. But I can just. There's so many people that were big racers, and you never thought you'd get that close to them. Like I was a petty fan, bad, and he gave me some STP hats, and he didn't have his sunglasses on. And I had a friend of mine, the photographer, was standing there, said, "Take a picture of him quick."
Yeah, because he don't ever
No,
he don't ever have his hat off
No, but
or
his
his glasses.
sunglasses.
Yeah.
So I had a picture of Richard Petty without his glasses on, but
Well,
I
I
think
picture Richard Petty when he was at Victory Junction and didn't have his hat on.
Oh, I know what I was going to tell you. Reverend Potter, he did the Victory Junction stuff, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so he did all this benefits and everything. Well, I went to his church and he was doing this benefit, and there was cakes, and he was, having people bid on them and stuff. I don't know who the gentlemen were that got these cakes, but one of them I was holding, he got $1,000 for.
Dang.
Wow.
I was holding a $1,000 cake.
Not many people can say that.
I
can
know. See, there's my happy moment.
That's a good
I didn't even
moment.
get a piece of it either.
they?
That's oh, this has been fun.
Yeah.
Roger's gonna be upset. I haven't done his show. Roger, I'll see him next time.
He'll be calling you now.
Yeah, he will. He's probably calling.
Dave says April does a great job, a wonderful job.
Who's Dave?
Dave Millard.
Oh yeah. Hey Dave.
Dave's my spotter. He's got a tough
Yeah.
job.
Did you see me driving the golf cart the other day?
You almost wrecked?
Well, I need a spotter. It was terrible. I told Reverend Potter, I said, I'm gonna kill this baby. I said, we got to go out the other end. I'm not coming in because you couldn't see the other car coming, and I'm looking at the scoreboard saying, okay, that's the last car. Okay. So just as I put my foot on the gas,
car come by.
yeah.
Oh.
I had somebody in the stand say, I bet you had a problem. I said, I did. You didn't hear that, Chuck Hall.
Nothing ever happened.
Nothing did happen, thank God. But I had Reverend Potter with me. It was like he must have like
The Lord was looking
Yeah,
out.
he was. It's like, oh my God. And I know my husband saw me. He said, this bed did not look good. I said, I think I'm going out the other way now.
Now, was he into racing before he
My
met you?
husband? No. No, I still haven't converted him to Sunday race shows.
Oh, really?
No. So he's into it here. He
Mhm.
really likes coming to Langley. So and he's here most of the time if I'm here. He'll get used to it.
So how much longer are you going to be here?
What, in the racetrack?
Yeah.
Oh,
We're gonna
I don't
handcuff you. I'm not going to
know.
let you leave.
I don't know. I mean, I'm old. And I'm like, there's some things I want to do. If they'll let me do those two, maybe I'll stay for a while.
Mm.
It
is a tough every weekend
Yeah.
being here
Yeah.
and
We're going away this weekend, though. We'll see. And
get a little break.
yeah.
And should be ready to stay here another 5 years. But it's funny, like how back in the day, in the early 90s, when here, every class raced every weekend, and it seemed like we had plenty of time. And now we race every other week or so, and we ain't got no time.
Yeah, and I couldn't get used to that. And the other thing with the NASCAR Cup races, I don't get that.
Yeah.
I don't get the staging.
No.
Mm-mm. I'm sorry. I'm like.
Now, did you like the chase thing when they first started it?
I'm really old, so I really like the way things were.
I didn't like. I was not a fan in the beginning.
No.
After it got going,
Yeah.
I was, because you could see that. I mean, if you go back to what they were fighting every week. It seemed like through the chase. That when you get Matt Kenseth going in a fight, and Matt's probably one of the most calmest guys in the Cup garage is getting in a fight. The pressure is on.
Yeah.
When you turn on the TV and you see, or turn on YouTube and go to racing altercations, racing fights, or whatever on there, and you go through the first 5 or 6, and all you see is your son in each one of them.
Oh,
He's there.
Yeah, he got in the middle of a bunch of them.
Now my son played hockey, and we went to a game, and they were letting the team that lost come out the same door that the one who won did.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, all heck broke loose, and I'm going down looking, where's my son? Where's my son? Where's my son? Well, he went into the locker room already. Everybody had somebody, including some of the parents. It was not pretty, and it was like he said he opened the door and saw what was going on and closed the door. Actually, he didn't. He said he went out. I said, no, you didn't. So I'm glad I didn't see you. But that happened. You can YouTube it too. Yeah.
Yeah, my son, when he went down to Charlotte and got involved in the racing and everything. Every time I turn around, and it was even in the Hooters Cup Series. I was on the phone with him one night. He picks up the phone and calls me on the phone. Oh, you know, we did this and this. Hold on, Dad, we're getting ready to fight.
Oh my God. There was a lot more fighting back in the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Bubba was on a lot of that.
Yeah.
Or Fuzz.
Yeah.
Fuzz was usually the first one there.
I'll tell you, I'm happy to see around here, and that's Charlie High.
Oh, yeah.
I like seeing him.
Charlie or James.
Yeah, James Long. Now, his wife used to bake brownies and stuff and put them in the skybox, and we would come and check the rooms and make sure everybody was okay and doing good. They didn't need anything. And Mary Lou would always have some brownies for us.
Oh, Charlie's been around a long time.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a great having you here with us tonight. Thank you for coming out and being a part of this. And
absolutely.
We have enjoyed every minute of it.
Yeah. Well, you just got my wife's story from the time I sat in the stands.
So how did you get here in the stands the first night then?
My ex-husband from high school was a race fan.
Okay.
Severely, and I couldn't take the noise at first, so I would always stay home. And then one night I went, I'll try to go on the racetrack, and then it was off. And I was a what's the guy? He was driving Howard Hughes. Cruz. Howard Cruz, number 7 Camaro.
Okay.
It was orange, and I was a big fan of his.
So you're a little sweet on him.
No. But you know what? He became an official. He was an official for a while.
I don't remember.
No, I was actually just in the grandstands. You know, just how fans do. They just sit in the grandstands and watch the race and have fun. Let me tell you who I was sitting with on those nights. Barbara and John Derrick.
Derrick, what's that sound?
Jacob Derricks.
Okay.
Oh,
really? That's funny.
He's going to be mad if I tell you this. Ricky Derrick, I changed his diapers.
Oh.
Jacob's dad.
I tell you what, the son, the grandson, I guess
Jacob.
you could say, he has done a great job in legend cars.
I was surprised that he got in one of those cars. To me, they're dangerous.
They are. There's no two ways about it. They are.
They're dangerous. And to me, it's like, he's not big enough yet, but I think he's a teenager. It's now like 14.
Well, he's got to be
15.
I think he's got to be 15.
I think he is 15.
Yeah.
But to me, he was only 8 years old the other day. So.
Right. Well, it seemed like over the winter he damn growed a foot.
Uh-huh.
But the kid's been really impressive in that car. I mean, set on the pole, finished second, I think first race. I think he ran some races just kind of riding in the back and getting used to the car last year.
And I have to say, I like Zach Lightfoot.
Zach. I mean, how can you not like Zach?
Well,
I mean, his daddy, but Zach.
His daddy bought my black Jeep off of me. Yeah, I know he got a lemon, and I'm sorry about that. But he helped me. He took it. Yeah. Took it off my hands.
Yeah, but another great family. There's a lot of great families here.
Yeah.
When Robert, I got his son into racing. Of course, his wife thanks me every time. I'm like, dude, racing is such a great family. You know, where else? What other sport are you gonna go to when your stuff breaks that your competitor is gonna come over and help you fix it? I mean, look at Jesse Jones the weekend. His transmission went out. The guy, the 17, I can't think of his name, loaned him a transmission. They put it in, missed qualifying, missed the first race, and ran the second race, and almost went by him for second. And he was like, "Man, I was sitting there thinking, he let me use this transmission. You know, should I can't rough him up. You know."
Hey, what happened to Cody?
He's not coming on till right at 8 o'clock or near about.
Okay.
He said as soon as he can get to a place where he can talk to us, he would.
Okay.
So I'm just kind of waiting on him. Roy was supposed to call in, but I don't know where he's at.
He's messaging. He said, "I'm real." I don't know what it's supposed to be, but
I'm real.
But it is such a family oriented sport.
Yeah.
And that's what I love. I mean, especially you come out on Sundays to the karting stuff, and there's so many families and so many kids, and you see some kids are not racing that day because their grades weren't that good. So then, you know, they don't let them race, which I think is a great thing.
Yeah.
Because education is very important. It's just such a cool sport.
It is, and it just brings so many people together. You know, I mean, like you said, the drivers help other drivers, and the fans, you know, share their seat next to somebody that's just as much a race fan as they are. You know, it's like, it's nice. It's a good place to be. And the year that we were closed, oh gosh, I was
boring as hell, wasn't it?
Well, we did with the radio show going on still. With you look out the window and you see the grass growing up in the cracks in the speedway and stuff. It was like, I mean,
how much further can this go, right?
I took a video of it one day and I thought, I can't post that on Facebook because people would just have a hard time with that.
Yeah.
You know, I had a hard time with that. So.
Now, what did your husband think about you being Miss Langley? He probably was pretty excited. Yeah.
I think he's the only guy that doesn't have a picture in the garage. I don't know that to be true. I just said that. I think he's seen my photo album. I have a photo album that we started back when Tommy Carr was a track photographer, and he would just give me a packet of pictures every week, and I would just go through them and I'd put them in a photo album just for memory's sake.
Oh yeah. Well, that's gonna be pretty cool. God damn, the book's gotta be this stuff.
Well, some of them are in boxes still. And since we've moved, we have a big tub and there's lots of pictures in it. It's funny because when I look at them, I go, God, I can't believe that's me. I mean, you know, because it's like, it looked like to me, like I was the cheerleader having fun. That's what I felt like. I felt like I was part of the team. The drivers made me feel like I was part of the team. Their families made me feel that way. I never felt like I was put in a position to be bigger than them or bigger than whatever people do when they get, you know, Miss America or whatever. You know, I'm not even saying Miss America does that, but you step back and the little girl who looks at you and says, I want to be just like you one day. That's when you know you're doing something right. And I remember telling this little girl, she had freckles all over her face and she was just beautiful. And I said, you know what? I said, you be you. And I bet you that'll be the best thing you ever did. And she was all excited and she skipped away. And this was here, like out here walking around because she thought I was something, I guess, but.
And that's sometimes as some of the drivers, we got to remember because I mean, we walk through there and the kids are all looking at us, you know, you got to make sure that it's special for them. To us, it's no big deal because this is every week to us, but to the kid, it is it can be a special moment. Yeah. And it takes all of us. None of us are more important than the other.
That's the truth.
And that's what we tell. I mean, we've had, you know, some, like say some Enduro guys are like, man, you know, we're just an Enduro driver. Can we come on the show? And we're like, dude, you are just as important as Danny and Greg Edwards because it takes all of us. Everybody is equally as important. Nobody's more important than the other. Absolutely, we can have, you know, and that's what we want. We don't want just the big names that people know. We want the other guys that don't get recognized that much.
I think looking back on the pictures I have of Victory Lane with Danny, Greg, and some of the other guys, if you look at the pictures, it's like you can tell everybody cares about the other person. It's not like, look at me, I just won the race. You know, it's it's like, get in here and get your picture with us. You know, you just feel it. It's just.
Well, it's a team effort. You want everybody.
But you look at those the bando kids and the bandos.
Yeah.
They're all over each other. When one of them wins, they're all there together, and they all come to Victory Lane and hang out,
throwing water on each other. You know, that is really cool to watch. It's funny that there was a video released earlier today, Kyle Busch being interviewed, and he was talking about Braxton racing. And he's like, right now he's kind of at that stage where they're still all friends. He's like, when I started racing, my dad's like, you bring your friends with you. Those guys on the racetrack are not your friends. He's like, so I didn't have any friends. When I first started racing, I was a punk because we didn't have any friends. And I was taught those guys on the racetrack are not your friends, and you just move them out of the way, and your job is to beat them. Yeah. No questions asked.
I think they're still racing. I mean, like you said, I think they're still out there racing each other, you know, because one wants to win and the other one wants to win. So they're going to still race.
Yeah.
And speaking of the bandos this weekend, Guess who's coming to race here on in the bando this Saturday night?
Who?
Riley Music's girlfriend.
Oh, is she?
Phoenix Campbell is going to be right here.
What's he doing with the girlfriend?
Well, they're talking. we like to stir it up. We thought we were stirring it up, and when we had her on the show, what we say, it was just like, "What do you like, Riley?" She's like, "Well, maybe." They were like, "Man, we couldn't even get anything started," you know.
I know her mama sent me a message yesterday and said we can't wait to see y'all on Saturday because we're going to be there to race Riley. I said we're going to give Riley some competition.
You're right, yeah, because she's won a few races,
and she came here. She was here yesterday practicing.
Ah.
And was practicing above the track record.
Ooh!
Wow,
Can't wait to see this.
So that's
Her, him and Trey Williams is going to have their work cut out for him.
How many bandos do we have?
It's a good little field right now. I want to say there's 8, 9, maybe 10.
no,
Sure.
I think it is. I think it is 10.
We got a few young girls that are racing. This will be another one.
She's not going to race here, but just a few times this year.
So she's really coming to see Riley.
Yeah, she's really coming here to race Riley. She's a regular at Wake County,
Okay.
so she's and Riley's going down there and tearing them up at Wake County. So
Yeah.
that'll be interesting. That'll be a lot of fun to see that happen out here.
So she hasn't won this year. She's racing with Riley then.
She hasn't run at Wake County this year, no.
Because I think he's won all 4 of them, even after they teched his motor.
Well, you guys want me out of here so you can do your.
Well, we're still waiting on Cody, not Colby, Cody.
He definitely has a fan base.
Yes, he does.
Goodness gracious.
Yes, he does. The other
I
night,
think he thought I was being mean when I said we need to get these pictures done so we can get off the track.
yeah, he does. He definitely has a bunch of fans. Then he's locked into the Scott Allen Mafia.
Where's your mafia from?
Rodney Davis, that's the president. But Cody, it's funny. Like when his first bando race year before last, and I was over talking to Charlie, and I said, "Boy, I thought you wasn't gonna get back into racing." He said, Landon Florian was helping. He's like, Landon's got the needle in his arm right now. I was like, yeah. You'll be late model racing in a couple of years. He's like, no, we ain't. I'm like, okay, we'll see.
Yeah. Well, that's a lot of enduros. Do you remember when the enduros first came out and they were
on Sundays?
Yeah.
100. They cut them off 125. I think
Yeah.
it was. And man, I don't know if you'd ever come over here. After the race was over, they would run to the gate so they could sign up for the next one because you couldn't rate. You couldn't sign up for the next one until this one was over.
We had them in Southampton too, and I mean they would start out at the start finish line. They still be coming out of turn 2.
Yeah,
lined
up.
It was crazy.
It's not even a race on that.
No, it's just a survival race. I mean, it wouldn't be with 5 or 6 guys.
Is that the ones that they had the stick that they had to have out the window? What was that? There was something that.
I don't remember that one.
No, that one time that was the enduros. They had to. I forget what that was for.
Well, it's like if they put the stick, there was a stick, but if they broke it or something, or
maybe
something
I
came on and they had to get out of the car, but they left the cars where they were, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe because it used to be you had to put your hand out the window. Maybe that wasn't safe. Because I mean, that was some crazy racing there, and it paid like $3,000 or $4,000 to win back then.
Amy Music, I hear that Phoenix is coming this weekend, so
buckle up.
It's gonna be fun. So you better tell Riley to get his game together, because I've already told her I was gonna come down and hang out with her for a little while.
Well, are you taking sides?
Huh? No, he's got stickers on his car with us. I have to.
So you're pulling for Riley? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
She says she was fast yesterday. I think they put the transponder in somebody else's car. No, I'm just kidding. That's what some people would do. I'm like, we'll put this in a late model and make it run fast times. It's like, yeah, we was fast yesterday.
Yeah, Danny and Greg, I think, were still in high school when I first started out here.
It's funny to see some of these kids or guys have grown up and now that they're
Yeah.
have families and some of their kids have raced or so forth, you know, like Ricky.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hey, Riley was out here practicing with her yesterday.
Barbara's gonna call me and say, I shouldn't have said that. So, well,
Oh, he was out here with him?
He was out here with her yesterday.
Oh. So is that why it was so fast, or?
We won't know.
He was probably doing recon.
And you won't get nothing out of Riley anyway.
No, you know.
But I do want to talk to Riley about the picture I saw on Facebook.
Mhm.
Well, on Kimball's.
That was on TikTok or something?
No, it was Instagram.
Instagram, yeah.
It was Instagram. And Riley was
dancing.
He was dancing.
oh,
Mm.
You don't see Riley with his, like they're doing that. Like,
He didn't know it was going public.
well, it went public. And if I could have copied it, it wouldn't even.
I'm surprised you didn't screenshot it or something.
I was thinking about it. I said, no, I better not do that. But anyway, we appreciate you being with us tonight. Thank you for
can I
coming out.
just tell them who the band
Absolutely.
will be?
Yes, tell us all. Give us
Okay.
any information you want to
Okay.
give out there.
Well, this weekend on May 22nd at 5 p.m., we have the band Relics. Relics is a local band, and Tumbleweed, and one of our track officials, is actually the drummer. So y'all have a good time. I'll be on vacation.
Super excited about it.
There's no band that I know of at the moment for the monster trucks unless Terry Harris got it. That's the following weekend. I don't want to give it away for the rest of them because I want everyone to come out to the races and see. Is that good?
That's good.
Good.
Okay, it's a wrap.
Well, we're still waiting on Cody, but
Cody, where are you, man?
if you want to hang with us until he gets on here,
Yeah, I want to say, I told you I was going to be here. I was waiting for you.
Eddie Clark said he was in the 3rd or 4th Enduro race ran at Langley.
I think I remember that.
Said he started next to Henry
Henry Click. Oh, yes.
Henry. Oh, wow.
Henry
Man, you
Click.
talk about a character.
I can tell you the story about Henry.
There's a lot of stories about Henry.
He wanted the checker flag, and I went, nope, can't keep it. Got to give it back to me.
That's funny.
And Skipper Jutras was another one. Did you remember him? He
Yes.
was on
yes.
What a wonderful man. He had there's a picture of me and him doing a standoff where he's got the flag and he's holding like this, smiling at me, and I'm like, I gotta have it back. You gotta give it back to me.
So the first time I ever met Henry Click, I don't know, it was like the first or second time I come over to the racetrack, and I was working for Barry Strathman. I think we were coming over for practice, and this guy pulls up in a white Cadillac, and in the back seat, he's got an engine taken apart. And I'm like, who the hell is this guy? Like, I'm thinking, this guy's crazy. This is how he's got a damn engine taken apart in this white Cadillac. I mean, it's got white leather interior. And I asked Junie, was our crew chief. I'm like, Junie, who the hell is this? He's like, that's Henry. I'm like, I don't know anybody. Who's Henry Clay? He's like, well, he owns the racetrack. Well, why the hell's he got a Henry Clay? He's like, that's just him.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to thank Bill Mullis for allowing me to be a part of this too.
You know, Bill has put a lot of effort into this racetrack, so
He's done a great job.
we're glad that he's got the track back and got it under his control now, and he, you know, it's a real benefit.
Yeah.
Charlie said he's trying to call. You should, Charlie. He's got to open the link up in Chrome, a Chrome browser, if he's got an iPhone. I know Jack probably didn't tell you that.
Well, Jack didn't tell him that. He can tell you that now.
There's so much about this stuff. I would have to have a teenager around to help me.
Somebody told me, somebody on here says they ran into you at a Leonard Skinner concert with Marty Strickland.
On the earth?
Eddie Clark.
Ran into April at Leonard Skinner concert I was with my son, and he doesn't look like Marty Strickland. Where was it at?
Don't have a clue.
What's that place?
He said he was with Mark.
Oh, he was with Marty. He was with Marty.
Well,
I was thinking
I thought
that's
I was
what
with
it
my
maybe
son.
meant.
Yeah,
I was
that
gonna
was
say,
the first
April, you got
concert.
some explaining to do. You said no racers, although Marty didn't race.
No. Yes, it was at ODU.
Mhm.
It was my son's first race. And that happened to be, what, in 09 maybe? Or 08. It was shortly after my former husband died because I took my son to his first concert. I told him, I said, if you're going to go, you got to go now or stay home. He goes, you're not going by yourself. I said, I will.
I'm not gonna sit here, right?
Yeah.
I tried to talk Marty into coming on the show, and he said,
Aw.
you're not putting me in front of no camera, and I ain't talking on no mic."
Marty, I'm talking to these guys.
I'm still waiting on Eddie Clark to bring us some barbecue. We've been waiting now for a year and a half now.
Are you hungry?
Well, you heard the guy offering some free food. I mean, we knew where.
Yeah.
No, but you've not had Eddie Clark's barbecue.
No.
He
Get some
sits
good barbecue.
over in turn 1.
Okay.
Oh, he turned 4.
Okay.
And he has this barbecue set up over there. And
He comes over early and gets the smoker going and leaves it over there, and then comes back later, and it's
Next time, bring
fall
us a
off the
plate.
it's fall off the bone.
Oh my goodness. I know some of those people go all out if you walk past their places in their little garages, whatever you want to call it. And there's things cooking. It's like, goodness gracious, but they've been there all day.
Mhm.
You know, they have to.
Yeah.
Like we go to the racetrack in Richmond and all these other places. We eat pretty good when we're up there too.
Yeah. We're lucky.
Yeah.
That's what we are.
Yeah. Al Pierce was in here Saturday night.
He's all about eating.
You know Al, huh? If you want out there, just buy him dinner.
I'll tell you about that. We were here racing on a Saturday night, and the next day we were going to Dover. Pace car came picked me up about 3 a.m, and I just got home at 12. So I got in the car. I think Ron Kitchen was driving, and he said, "We got to pick up Al Pierce and somebody else was with us." I
Free
can't
ride.
remember. Well, okay, so I was going to do the parade lap, which meant I was like dressed in sweatpants and stuff, and took a little bag to change my clothes so that I could do the Miss Langley thing. Well, I walked in the bathroom, changed my clothes, came back out, and it's kind of like high heel shoes, and I'm walking out to the table with all these guys sitting there, you know, race-looking guys, and I sit down, just sit there, and I'm like, I'm waiting for us to leave, you know, and I thought, if anybody saw that, they would wonder what in the heck I was doing. Do you know? I mean, it was like, that was the weirdest day. I'll never forget. But I almost fell off the pace car.
Now, have you ever heard the story about Al Pierce's first race?
I'm surprised because
It's a story. So Al, the newspaper was looking for a sports person, and he knew absolutely nothing about sports, but
About racing.
About racing, but he told him that he knew everything there was to know about racing and so forth. So they sent him to Dover. Dover was his first race, and 74, I think it was.
Something like that, yeah.
So he goes there, first race. Richard Petty wins, and he asked Richard, sort of when they're all gathered around, is like, "Hey, Richard, how come you just didn't open the door to get out?"
oh my goodness.
So Richard says, "Boy, you don't know a whole lot about racing, do you?" He said, "No, but I intend on learning."
Well, tell about the faux pas you made
Huh? What are you talking about?
with Red Farmer.
Oh. Yeah, well,
We
I'm sure
all
you-
have them.
Yeah, I guess you know who Red Farmer is.
No.
Well, we have him on the show, and I'm like, I looked up, and I couldn't find his name anywhere. So I'm like, he races his dirt. So we got him on the show, and he's talking, and I'm like, "Well, Red, how come you never tried any asphalt racing?"
Oh,
Boy, he was on the chip. He said, "Boy, you don't know a whole lot about me, do you? I won Daytona 3 years straight." And I was like, he just went on. He said, "Next time you interview me, I'm going to send you a hero card so you can study, so you can ask me some questions." I was dying.
Well,
Luckily, we didn't have a camera. Well, we did, but I was laughing.
well, back when Winston was a sponsor,
Mm-hmm.
there's a big guy named Bob that would walk around from Winston, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he came up and he was standing talking to me. He had a cigarette in his mouth, and it was going, you know, like that. Like
Yeah.
he's talking. And,
Probably had a long thing of
Yeah.
ashes on it, about ready to
and
fall
I
off.
said, "Why don't you get that nasty thing out of your mouth?" She's a Winston man.
What did he say anything?
So there's mine.
I bet that one. Charlie Bryant says we can call him.
You'd have to call him.
Yeah, I don't have his number.
Give him the show next week. Tell him come in next week.
Hey Charlie, can you get him to come next week? Come here to the show. That would be better. It'd be better if we could get that worked out. But that way the calling part, I don't know, that won't be too good.
Yeah.
So now we get the number.
I think I can tell them how excited Cody was about getting his checkered flag and all the pictures that we took with them.
And you had to run him out, and you had to run him off the track.
And take the flag from him.
Did you see what week was it? I know it was a couple weeks ago. Somebody won, and I can't remember who it was, but the announcer and I pushed the car off the track. I was waiting for someone to go, she pushed the car off the track.
I don't remember who that was.
I can't either. I wish I did. Whoever I pushed your car off the track, let us know if you're out there.
All right. He says, sure, we can have him on next week. So
It's all good, Charlie.
You can have your own show.
we'll have Cody with us next week. And matter of fact, I got a couple things I need to give to him anyway. So
Be a good time.
yeah, it'll be a good time. We just do it when he comes out here. So anyway, that's our show for tonight. We're going to go ahead and get away and get off right now. Like our show, share it, do whatever. Rewatch it because it's we had a lot of fun. We had Miss April here with us.
Yeah.
That was fun.
We really enjoyed having her here. Enjoyed having Tim O'Quinn with us tonight. And hopefully next time we'll get Cody over here next week. And we're gonna have Chris Bechtel here next week. So
They'll bring his mom and dad in here too. There's nice people. I like them a lot.
I guess we'll have to just deal with having Chris Bechtel here next week.
John does great. Photography.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Rodney Davis, if you're not paying attention, I don't know where do you live? Do you live on the same planet with the rest of us? Because it's not the end of the month yet. And he's already starting driver of the month stuff.
Well, he's campaigning early.
Well, he can campaign all he wants to, but that's down to 3 people make that. I ain't saying you can't win it. I'm just saying Rodney Davis, he starts about, so what's today's date? The 18th?
Mm-hmm.
It's the 18th. The month long, but we're not even close to being the end of the month yet.
Typical politician.
Oh,
And I guarantee you Saturday night before I leave here, he'll start already doing driver of the week stuff.
Well, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Well, we appreciate you
Thank
being
you.
here. Thank you
Had
for,
lots of fun.
and hope you'll be around much more.
Thank
And
you.
we will, you're vital. I like getting the people from the Langley Speedway. We've had the scores on, and we've had other people on.
Well, see, they know what they're doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I just come out and just do it.
Well, no, I got hit pretty hard the other night when I told them Justin did better than the girls did in here.
Well, I mean,
I said, Justin's show was a lot better than y'all. They didn't like that too much.
I'm happy for Justin. I like him, but he was always such a gentleman in the tech shed because that's where I hang out in between races. And he would always come in. If I asked him a question, and he always said, "Yes, ma'am." Then I started.
Yeah, he is a very polite.
Yeah, he deserves that. I'm
Yeah, I
happy
went
for
up and talked to him, and I think it was a great pick. So,
Yeah, well, I mean, he's got experience. He did the modified tour for a few years.
Yeah.
So I think it's a great pick for somebody that already has that experience.
I kind of hate change into some of the people that leave, and you miss them and you want them back, and everybody's got to do their own thing when they're doing it. It's like that's what.
I mean, it's really tough when you see somebody like Shane leaving, and he left for the right reasons when he left, and so I mean that's understandable, and now I guess he's going to take a break and just stay with it, like he's.
I saw him Saturday.
Yeah, I seen him the other
It's all
Saturday.
official Saturday. I said, "Welcome back." I don't know. He's gonna do that.
But I mean, it's good, and it was. I mean, I hated to see Jimmy leave, but
right, yeah.
Justin's a good pick. So
Yeah, he's been here for a while.
he knows the ins and outs of this place. So he knows
plus,
what's going on.
he's got his boss in there with him. So
Yeah, well,
should
that's
keep him straight.
I noticed she stayed out here for a little while the other night. I bet I not tell that story or
We
not.
love Chris too.
She said, I'm just letting him learn how to do things on his own.
She's good like that.
Yeah, it was a trip.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Everybody have a good weekend, and I'm not gonna be here, but have fun. And
she's not going to be here this weekend.
I know that's gonna be weird.
So, Scott, you won't get it. You won't get a checker flag from her if you win one.
Yeah, I'll just have to do it again.
I'll check this.
Let's get the one. Let's get the one first.
Get the first one first.
Let's deal with that first.
In Victory Lane.
In the carts.
Yeah.
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 He somebody gave him that. That's,
Yeah.
No, I took that one.
So
I
if
stole it.
anybody out there has a friend that's not a race fan, bring them to Langley.
Yeah,
Got lots of
absolutely.
racing left.
Absolutely.
and got some big races coming up too. Before too much longer.
Yeah,
So
I know it won't be long. Hampton Heat coming up, Triple Crown.
Cars Tour is going to be here.
Mhm.
It's gonna- week after next, the monster trucks are going to be here.
Mhm.
That's going to be a big one.
That's Friday and Saturday show.
So that's going to be a lot of fun.
Pretty
All right,
cool.
we'll see you next week. Thank you all for being with us.
Thank you.